Welcome back, everyone. This is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, here with another video. And this one, I'm just going to go over the basics of Alliance territory. Now, some of you have already been kind of confused about this concept because I haven't seen any other game do it this way. And I'm going to show you the basics of what I've learned, and hopefully it would help you progress your alliance, and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. First things first, we're going to talk about the smallest unit of territory, and that is the tile and the strongholds within it. Let's zoom in on one. A tile is a hexagon-shaped space that can be controlled by taking the strongholds within it. Now, if you want to fully control an entire tile, you need to capture all 5 strongholds. However, in order to continue building, you only need 1. And I will show you an example. Something that we learned from progressing our territory is we only needed to capture 1 of the strongholds in order to keep building more space. This allows you to push forward with your alliance territory without having to capture everything. It can be kind of annoying to work towards occupying all 5 strongholds and then continue building territory. This gives you a way to keep moving. So, a strategy we like to use, and we did mess up a few times, you can attack all 5 strongholds, which will start a timer to occupy them even if people aren't in it, and then occupy with a large group 1 of them. Let's see if I can give an example here. Here we go. See how there's no one sitting in this stronghold, and yet we're going to occupy it in about 24 minutes? That's what I mean. You can attack all 5 strongholds within a tile, occupy 1, and then just move on and let the timer finish it out. Point number 2 is, what is the difference between these flat tiles that you see on the map and the raised ones? These flat tiles are missing what's known as a command post. A fully raised tile means that it's been fully captured and a command post has been built on it. So let's see what command posts are. Command posts pop up right next to the central stronghold in your tile, and they allow for fast travel between 2 points. This tile is 7 tiles away from my main city, and yet I can get here in less than 2.5 minutes. And I am flying. It's really kind of nice how quickly you can go thanks to command posts, because you're just bouncing between them. One other point that command posts allow you to do is it protects your supplies. If you capture resources in this tile, or wagons travel through this tile to get to your city, no one can attack them. They can't be looted. If they make it into your territory, you're going to get the bonus resources, which is extremely beneficial for resource production, because resources are very scarce comparative to other games. However, I do need to point out one problem with command posts. If I come down here, I don't have all of them captured in this one. All of my strongholds captured here, but I can also show you the requirements to construct a command post. It says one of 5 strongholds occupied. We know that. I have continuous controlled zone between you and your allies' cities. This one is just basically saying that if an enemy has cut off your space, the command post is automatically null and void. You should have continuous zone control between 2 points unless an enemy is involved. This is the kicker though. The distance between you and this city should be no more than 7 blocks or 7 tiles apart. That means that even if we captured all of the strongholds here, this is the nearest city that we have control of. I don't have Lionfang Tower. We don't have Lionfang Beacon. This is the closest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the farthest we can go. Unless we capture another city that extends that range, we can't build any more command posts, which means we're slow marching the rest of the way, which can be really annoying. That goes back to my advice about taking tiles, attacking all 5 strongholds, and then occupying 1, so that you're not waiting. You can keep building and know that a command post is going to be built behind you. Point number 3 is the cities themselves. You see these large cities dotted along your regional map, and they are points for your alliance to be able to capture. Point number 1, you can only have 4. That includes your starting area. It's really annoying, it's very restrictive, and it forces you to give up ones that you may not want to give up in favor of continuing your alliance growth. It can get extremely annoying. However, you can mitigate this by going into your alliance tech military and going towards country cap. There are multiples of these techs. Each one gives you an additional city occupation maximum, which means it goes from 4 to 5. This one would go from 5 to 6. Hopefully we can do math. So if you don't want to have to give up any of your cities, start pushing for country caps. If you want to continue without having to wait on that tech, you have to go through what's known as the abandon process. We just started one for the Lionfang mine in order to build closer to our capital. It's a 6-hour process. Yes, it's annoying that some of the alliance members won't be able to stay here. They'll either get kicked back to the capital, or they'll get moved elsewhere. But you need to plan ahead for when you're going to abandon a city in order to push forward. So keep that in mind. Tip number 4 is relocation. Everyone starts off in their very first region. You know it. You and 1,000 friends were stuck in the city-states, couldn't really go anywhere else because you didn't have an alliance established. In order to be able to move out of this space, you had to control another city. This gives you the option to relocate to that city. From here, you can choose to settle, and some of them require an application to settle, but you can settle in any of these posts as long as there's empty space for it. Up to 40 people can go to a singular city, which is going to cover more than your alliance mates, so that they each have a place to go. The further you are ahead, the more access you have to better resources, the more access you have to the front lines of whatever combat you're going to be in, as well as an extended range for where you can go. You remember how I said that the command posts have a 7-tile range? You also have a 7-tile range with which to use said command posts. Even if you have 2 cities that are 14 tiles apart for whatever reason, I would not be able to move directly from one city to another, sans mobilization, of course, that's another issue. If I was trying to get 14 tiles away, I would stop 7 tiles. So let's just go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If it wasn't for this city, this is the farthest I would be able to go through command posts, and then I'd have to walk the rest. Even though I have command posts in between these points. So, whenever you can, the more active you are, you should be pushing towards the front line of your alliance. and your alliance should be accommodating you in doing so. Now, for the final thing, and you all should be working towards this, it's a nice little tab down here at the bottom called the road. I'm just going to talk about the first two main points you run into, and that is the Duchy and the Principality. The Duchy is how you found your kingdom to start with. You must control a regional provincial capital and found your kingdom. You'll have that little button that pops up here. There'll be a nice little celebration for you, gems passed out. It's a wonderful experience. But you must control one of these provincial capitals in order to do that. Principalities require you to control another type of building just like it, a principality capital. Again, same thing. We'll be able to upgrade to a principality here once we capture this. However, we are lacking in majesty points. Majesty points are required in order to get either of these. The first one, I believe, is only 300, whereas the principality is 500. In order to boost your majesty points, you need to go into institutes and build up this area. I won't get too much into detail about this. I'm just going through the basics. Just know this is where majesty points come from. You need to make sure your alliance is working on it. And with that being said, that's really everything that I can say about the basics of territory control. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Reach out to me on Discord, or hell, reach out to me in the game. I don't mind answering questions here. You can check my ID, add me as a friend. I'm more than happy to talk just about anybody. I'm really getting into this game, and I would love to make more content about it. And if you want my take on any particular part of the game, please let me know. With that, this is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing off.